Hey guys, it's Big Drew, and today I have for you a really awesome build that I've been working on for the past few days, and I'm going to be calling it Star Platinum Amara, because you're going to be doing lots of punching. Yeah, it's a melee build. So as you probably heard, melee builds aren't the greatest on Mayhem 10, however, this is probably the best one I've been able to make personally. I haven't really seen anyone else do anything like melee related, so only loosely. But anyway, so the main weapon you're going to be using for this is the face puncher, and I have two of them here because they're going to be useful for different situations. So this one, 300% versus 90 enemies, is going to be really good for groups of targets. Like if you chain up a big group of ties that bind, this is going to be really good for killing all of them. And then this one with the melee damage on action skill end is going to be really useful for if there's like one target left that you need to kill, because most of your damage is going to be coming from ties that bind. So yeah, we also have, I have a Psycho Stabber as well as a Linoge for if you want to actually punch enemies. This is going to do a lot less damage, which is unfortunate, but hey, that's the way it is. But yeah, if you want to punch enemies, we have these. I also included a lot of just regular non-melee weapons for if you want to just download the save file and use it for whatever, like there's some god-rolled guns in here. But yeah, the main focus of this is going to be melee. So we also have a level 1 Brawler Ward with a melee damage anointment. I have 3 different fish slap grenades with 3 different elements: fire, corrosive, radiation. The Knife Drain White Elephant, this is going to heal you as well as giving you extra damage from the stickies that you attach by melee. So the Face Puncher shoots 14 shots. Each shot has a 30% chance to attach a sticky bomb, so that's going to be a lot of extra damage that you really need. We also have a Phaserker. This is going to allow you to... pretty much the whole point of the Phaserker is to let you stack a lot of stacks of do harm, so that the main enemy is going to kill everything else, so that you can actually do efficient mobbing with a melee build. The build is pretty similar to the one I've been using, as well as a build that Moxie uploaded that I think he called it Pain Amp Amara, but the skill points are a little bit different, but the premise is pretty similar. So yeah, as you can see, again, most of your damage is coming from ties that bind, but yeah, let's go over the skill tree a little bit. So yeah, do harm, this is where most of your damage is coming from, because it boosts the chain damage from ties that bind. Violent Tapestry also boosts any elemental damage you're dealing with, like your fish slap grenades or the white elephant. Restless for cooldown, accuracy and critical damage, reload speed. Laid Bare, because again, this is a phase grasping build, so you're going to be getting 25% bonus damage when you phase grasp. Wrath for 40% damage, really good skill. The Remnant is really important because again, melee damage is really heavily burst damage, and what I mean by that is you get one huge shot off, and that's and then you're not doing a lot of DPS, right? So if you kill an enemy for a lot of overkill, Remnant's going to make it really easy to kill more stuff. Awakening to boost your do harm damage, and then Avatar to give you more rush stacks, as well as 2 action skills, which is really nice for this build. So the red tree doesn't really matter what you pick. Honestly, the whole point of investing any skill points into this tree is just to get ties that bind. So honestly, this isn't really that important. This barely gives you damage. Maybe Dread is going to give you damage. In the green tree, we have Personal Space for this one of your highest damaging skills in general, and when you're meleeing people, obviously, you're going to be right up in their face, so that's going to be really good. You have Splash Damage from Arm Steel, and that's going to boost your White Elephant stickies as well as your Fish Slap, I believe. And then finally, you find your center just for a flat out 100% melee damage boost and also melee range. Yeah, so that's the skill tree. As for our Mayhem modifiers, Slayer is going to be really nice because if you get an enemy down to 15% or below and you chain them with Ties That Bind, you're going to kill everything, literally. Because as far as I know, meleeing someone in Slayer range does like hundreds of millions of damage, maybe even a billion. I haven't tested it too much. And then yeah, Not the Face is good because again, you're meleeing people. You're not going to be critting like at all. So this is just like a non-modifier almost. But yeah, I mean these two don't really matter. It can be anything. These Slayer and Not the Face are the ones that are important. So yeah, that's the skill tree. Let's get into the showcase for the build. So we're on Athena's here because it's good mobbing, but it's nothing like insane. So, I mean, stuff is going to die for sure, but it's not going to be anything ridiculous. But yeah, that guy got destroyed, which is nice. So, this build is going to look really strong because of the cartel event right now, which means there's going to be way more enemies. So there's going to be a lot more groups of enemies to just, like, make it a lot easier to do, huge amounts of damage. Whereas if there was less enemies, you're not going to be doing as much because, like I said, most of your damage is coming from do harm and Ties That Bind. So let me try to actually punch stuff here and see if anything will die, because as I said, like, punching stuff is not really going to do much for you, as you can see. I mean, a few things did die, but the guy that was actually phase grasped took basically 0 damage, so. But as you can see, when I shoot the face puncher, that's where the real damage is coming from, because it's a combination of just like a lot of melee hits at once because it's 14 pellets, as well as the white elephant doing like a ton of damage for you. Yeah, even though it's a melee build, melee doesn't have the greatest scaling. You can still see that I'm hitting for like I almost said billions. I wish millions of damage like pretty frequently. Yeah, as you can see, the single target damage for this build is really low, and that's pretty much the problem with melee builds in general on Mayhem 10. But I mean, yeah, the combination of Slayer and just Ties That Bind and do harm almost mitigates that. Like, it lets you kill stuff, but if you're shooting at one target, you're gonna have, I don't want to say a bad time, but you're gonna have a hard time killing stuff. Wow, that was just sad that I died there. That was unavoidable. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this out, but you get the point. So, killing groups of enemies is gonna be the easiest thing for this build. Bossing is pretty much not a thing. You're not gonna really be able to kill bosses. And I'm gonna be honest, this build isn't like good, but it's probably the best melee builds you can really use on Mayhem 10 because, again, melee damage just doesn't really scale at all, and it's kind of sad. I hope they change that because melee builds can be really fun. And also, Amara has an entire skill tree dedicated to melee damage, so. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun build at least. Like, I've been enjoying myself. If you were to take this down to Mayhem 0, it would definitely be a lot of fun because you could just actually punch stuff like melee damage is intended to be. But yeah, let me actually show off how the fish slap is going to work with this build because it's probably like the highest single target damage you're going to be doing is with the fish slap grenade. So yeah, like, wow, one fish slap killed that badass with 3 health bars, which was nice. Like, that's pretty good. Oh, I hit him. Whoa, I'm gonna die, aren't I? So yeah, I mean, I would recommend using the fish slap in the scenarios where there's only like one target alive. But yeah, I'm probably gonna die. Oh, I didn't. Let's go. That guy must have been in Slayer range. That's good. So yeah, I mean, this build also doesn't have very much survivability. Pretty much all of your survivability is coming from the Knife Drain artifact that we're wearing because, just based on the way the skill tree is set up, to maximize your melee damage, you can't spec into Sustainment, which is Amara's strongest healing skill. So this guy's in Slayer range. If I kill him, everything else dies, and there was several 100 million damage that was dealt there, as you can see. But that's just because the interaction with Slayer and ties that bind is super weird. I think I'm for sure dead here. Please, no, I don't wanna. Actually, does that little drone revive you? I don't remember. It does. Let's go. I cheat. Oh, okay. I cheated death for a second. Is there? There's another one. Please. I can't even kill the drone. All right, run. I don't want to die again. Yay! I killed stuff. Let's go. All right. So I mean, that's part of what makes this build so fun, is like you actually have to try really hard. It's not just like an auto kill everything kind of build, which I mean those are really fun too, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to mix things up, you know, and use stuff that isn't just the meta pretty much. Well, that guy was in Slayer range. Oh, there's one. Cool. So everything's gonna die, and that's why I use Slayer instead of like more than okay Boomer, like because you could use that to just chain fish slaps like crazy. But I think it's more fun to just get literally one enemy in Slayer range and then kill everything because of it for free. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, like, I showed off, like, what makes this build so fun. Like I said, it's not the greatest build. I'm not claiming this to be, like, a very strong, like, free win, true takedown, made easy kind of build. Now, it's literally just if you want to have some fun, you want to try to kill stuff with a melee build, that's what this is. I had a fun time making it. But yeah, I'm probably not going to use it too much after this. So yeah, I mean, if you liked it, if you really were looking for a good melee build to try, and this is the best you could find, then I hope you enjoyed it, because like I said, I had a fun time making it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like or subscribe, or a comment. If you didn't like the video, please leave a comment and tell me why. I'm pretty new to this, and I want to do my best to get better, so yeah, thanks.